Hello, my name is Idea, and together with my groupmates Chrysel, Giannina Marie, Mary Louise, and Shani, we will be discussing about urbanization and rural-urban migration, theory and policy. Let us start with the migration and urbanization dilemma. We focus on one of the most complex and nuanced dilemmas of the development process, the phenomenon of massive and historically unprecedented movement of people from the rural countryside to the burgeoning cities of Africa, Asia, and America Latina. The key question is how developing countries are coping with the rapid pace of urbanization economically, environmentally, and politically. The data shows that a large proportion of urban population in developing countries live in slums. There is a positive relationship between per capita income and urbanization.
The share of urban population has increased in both slow-growing as well as rapidly growing countries. What explains the strong association between urbanization and economic development? Agglomeration economies are cost advantages to producers and consumers from location in cities and towns, which takes the forms of urbanization and localization economies.
Urban giantism may lead to first city bias, in which the biggest city receives a disproportionate share of public investment, which aggravates the problem of urban giantism. It is caused by colonial legacy, industrial policy of import substitution, and high tariff, lack of democracy, and rent-seeking behavior of public officials or politicians. Thus, combining the effects of the urban hierarchy model with the differentiated plain model.
One striking feature of the urbanization in developing countries is the presence of a large informal sector. There are 30% to 70% of urban labor force who works in the informal sector. Urban informal sectoral jobs are characterized by low skills, low productivity, self-employment, lack of complementary inputs, particularly capital, small scale measured in terms of sales, assets, employment, etc., and they're favored by recent migrants.
Rural-urban migration aggravates the structural imbalances in two ways. Firstly, the migration increases the labor supply in the urban areas and depletes the human capital in rural areas. Secondly, job creation in urban areas requires more resources relative to urban areas, reducing the resources available to rural areas. The Todaro model postulates that migration proceeds in response to urban-rural differences in expected income rather than actual earnings. The fundamental